There are two sides to every story. And if you watch Netflix's new limited series, His and Hers, you're gonna hear that phrase repeated over and over. I really wanted to love this because you have John Bernthal, you have Tessa Thompson, you have a murder mystery in a small town. What's not to love? But after 6 episodes, I'm left wondering how something with so much promise is so messy. Now I know what you're asking yourselves. Is this worth the 6-hour commitment this weekend? Or are you just gonna spend your time screaming at the TV, questioning the logic of the characters, and looking at your phone the whole time? Well, I finished all 6 episodes, and we're here to discuss why this weekend's binge watch is such a complicated maybe. So sit back and relax, grab yourself a nice little drinky poo like I have right here, and let's see if this is gonna be your next weekend binge. Now I'm gonna keep the first half of this discussion fairly spoiler free because I want you to make up your own mind if you wanna jump in or not this weekend. But stick around for the second half of this discussion where I discuss some of the logical fallacies I found in the show, some of the weird decisions that characters make, and the twist that pretty much almost ruined the entire show for me. This show has a lot of similarities to a recent miniseries I watched on Netflix called The Beast in Me, starring Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys. They're both set in small towns. They both deal with a murder mystery. They both have characters who you think, did they do it? Did they not do it? You have a bunch of red herrings in both. So there's a lot of similarities in both of these shows. And if you liked that one, and if you liked the feeling of everybody lying and who's really guilty and who's not guilty, you're gonna feel right at home in this series as well. I think the biggest draw that this show has is its 2 leads, John Bernthal and Tessa Thompson. And I think most people who initially decide to check it out will either do so because of them or because they're familiar with the source material, the book written by Alice Feeney. Now, John Bernthal plays a character named Jack Harper, who is a police detective in the small town of Dahlonega, which is outside of Atlanta. They find a dead body and he is the lead investigator of it. In this show, it's really frustrating because he is so sloppy and so manic and is so awkward and is just one of the worst detectives I've seen in a long time on TV. He has a relationship with the victim and he had sex with her right before she was murdered, left his semen in her, and now he's trying to cover his tracks because he's afraid people will suspect him. Now Tessa Thompson plays his estranged wife. I say that because they had a horrible tragedy where they lost their child, their newborn basically, and she leaves for a year, comes back a year later, and now is investigating this murder. This murder victim is someone she was friends with back in her days in school, in an all-girls school. And the way she interacts with people, the way she treats people, the way she sets things up, her behavior, she's just a very unlikable person. I know she's grieving, but we don't know at the beginning what she's grieving, what the trauma is for, all this, what the whole backstory is. I think this is a big trap in modern cinema. In the past, you had a situation where your heroes were perfect, your villains were the scum of the earth. And now writing trends have shifted where you have to put a bunch of flaws in your heroes and you have to humanize your villains to bring everybody closer to the middle, right? You have to understand the villain's mindset of why they're doing what they're doing, and you have to put flaws on your heroes so that the common person can relate to them. What's happened is sort of a course correction where you make your leads so flawed and unlikable that it's hard to root for them. And you need to root for your heroes, otherwise you really don't care what's going on in the story. Does that get you hooked? Are you running to Netflix to watch a show right now? Let's slow your roll, okay? I'm gonna jump into some spoilers, into some more specifics about the show. If you have not seen the show yet and you still want the surprise and you're not familiar with the source material, you're gonna wanna jump ahead to this time code that's on the screen and avoid all my spoilers and go to my rating, whether you should cue it, you should screw it, and what I give it out of 5 stars, okay? The detective work in this show is absolutely insane. This woman is killed. She's friends with another woman who they don't really get around to questioning very much. Those two were in a group. One of that group is the sister of your lead detective. There's a little bit of a conflict of interest right there, right? And to make it even more, this detective's estranged wife was also in that group and they had a big falling out. Maybe she's involved in these murders somehow. I don't know, maybe we should ask her. Like, So immediately you begin to suspect someone in this group is responsible, which tells you that something happened in the past because they're no longer friends. They kind of hate each other. So you know something bad happened in the past. You already figured that out by episode 2, right? So if there's no one left around, you start looking at the ancillary characters around them that get some screen time and maybe don't make a whole lot of sense, but you could be okay, they have a connection to these people and I could see why they would be involved. And then it becomes pretty obvious. There's only like 1 or 2 characters that it could possibly be, as far-fetched as it is. And we're gonna talk about that in a minute, because that twist at the end of who the killer really is, horrible. I know that same twist is in the book, but that doesn't mean it's good. Netflix could have changed that ending around and fixed what I think is wrong with the ending, but they didn't. And it's so silly, it's so stupid. It is dumb. I actually found it really refreshing in The Beast in Me, spoiler alert, that you suspect the neighbor, Matthew Rhys's character, of being the killer the whole time, but you don't really know. And the twist in that story is that there's really no twist. He's suspected to be the killer. He is the killer. And that was kind of refreshing, right? Because you didn't have to have this twist of like, oh, it was like the brother of this guy who had nothing to do with anything, but he's the killer. It's because he dropped this piece of paper in this thing. No, he was suspected. He had the most reason to do the murders. He did the murders, right? That was a non-twist, and it was kind of refreshing. I kind of wish they had done something like that here instead of what they went with. So it all boils down to, on their 16th birthday, they all go out to the woods and horrible things happen there, right? And their 5th friend, who was a heavyset girl, she got away and she transformed herself into Lucy. And Lucy is a news anchor who is a rival of Anna's now, and she became that. So immediately you're starting to suspect that, well, maybe Lucy came back and she's killing these people who tormented her. So, and honestly, that would have made more sense than what they went with. Let me have a little drinky poo. But no, they didn't go with the thing that makes sense. They didn't go with the character who actually had the most reason to do the murders. They went with the 65-year-old grandma, who is faking her dementia, so that people don't suspect her, I guess. They didn't really explain that too well. I guess she was faking her dementia so that she thought people wouldn't suspect her. But I'm like, have you seen the cops in this town? They wouldn't suspect you anyway. You're 65 years old. You're this like feeble looking old woman who has nothing to do with anything. Why would they ever suspect you anyway? So that was a little weird anyway. But also, like, come on, man. You're making the killer Anna's mom, 65 years old, and she's murdering all these women who are in their mid-30s with a little penknife, and she's just like a serial killer ninja, just like walking around, sneaking around. The only one that was somewhat intelligent and someone that we actually could get behind is Harper's partner, Priya. But because she's dominated by him so much, it takes a long time for her to stand on her own 2 feet and actually start putting these things together and bringing them to a light. So, yeah, it was a lot. The other big thing I had a big problem with is this horrible attack happens in the woods. Grandma serial killer goes on a bender and kills all these girls who she thinks are responsible. Lucy wants to punish Anna for totally unrelated reasons. She gets killed too. And, you know, Grandma serial killer wanted her as a patsy, but dead is not a problem either. My question is, Grandma, what about those dudes that actually did the horrible assault? No one talked about those dudes. Nothing happened to them. They're as responsible, if not more so, for what happened. And, boys will be boys, I guess. Like, what? These kind of things in shows are logic killers. When you're watching a show and something so weird happens that you stop and you start questioning why something's happening or why something is not happening, it completely takes you out. Why are these dudes just assaulting girls in the forest, being videotaped, not caring about that at all, and then nothing happens to them. Come on, be better, guys. As a writer, be better. And all of this is revealed in the final 20-25 minutes where we have this really long epilogue. That's a horrible way of finishing up a show or a film. That means the writers don't trust your viewers enough to put the dots together and come to this conclusion, so they force feed it to you, right? So basically, Anna and Jack rekindle their relationship, and they go home to visit Anna's mother. In the bedroom, Anna finds a letter where the mom breaks everything down of why she did what she did. And basically comes to a head that she saw the video of her daughter being attacked in the woods, and she wanted to get revenge on all the people who set it up, right? And that's what motivated her to do all these murders. But like, the rest of it is 20 minutes of her reading the letter, and you see the scenes unfolding, right? There's so many other weird plot devices that don't make sense in this show. Did those girls when they were 16 not see Anna with the camcorder put it down and it's just filming all of them? If you're gonna commit a heinous crime, wouldn't you take the evidence? And what, after the crime they just left and let her take the camcorder and the recording back home? And why didn't she go to the cops with the recording? She had all their faces. And if she decided not to go to the cops, why did she keep the recording? None of this makes any damn sense. What they should have done, now here's my screenwriter thinking cap. Here's what they should have done. Instead of spending 20 minutes on the epilogue where she's reading the letter and you see everything that happened and you know grandma did it, maybe she does get a letter and maybe she reads the letter. But maybe we don't see the scenes unfolding between us or in front of us, right? And it's left ambiguous. And the grandma actually does have dementia. And then you start thinking, did the grandma actually do it? Or are these the ramblings of a dementia patient and she has no idea what she's talking about? Or does she think her daughter did it, but she's gonna take blame for it so that her daughter doesn't get in trouble? Did her daughter actually do it? You want to leave some ambiguity with a show like this. That way people can go away, they can go on the message boards, they can talk about it, they can raise awareness about the show. There's a discussion going around on the internet. Why do people still talk about the ending to The Thing 40 years later? Because it's like, who's the thing? Is it McCready? Is it Childs? I don't know. And in this show, if they left the ending more ambiguous and didn't show you exactly what happened, it could have been ambiguous too. Did Anna do it? Did the grandma do it? Did the grandma not do it thinking Anna did it and wrote the letter take blame, but maybe Anna didn't do it either and then someone else did it? You'd have all these questions. Then you know what? If the ratings are really good, there's your sequel. Now it's kind of like done, over with, and there's nowhere to go. This ending really hurt this series a lot. And let's talk about whether it's a cue it or it's a screw it. Like I said, it's only a 6-hour watch. It's quick. It has good acting in it, even though the characters are a little bit annoying and you don't want to really root for them. So in the binary sense of a cue it or screw it, cue it. It's 6 hours. It's a quick weekend watch. No problem. Now, if I'm trying to be a little more granular and rate this on a scale of 5 stars, I give it right about a 3. Anything below a 3 would be really hard for me to recommend to cue it, and I would say screw it. This just barely creeps into the cue it section because of the things I mentioned before. But man, I think that ending took this down from a 3.5 to a 3 and really put it at the bottom of that list. If you're bored, you have nothing to do this weekend, you just want to watch some pretty good acting, and you love the setting of a small town murder mystery, put it up in your queue and watch it. If not, there's probably better things to watch. Now, Netflix has a few misfires as of late, and this isn't the only one, so I can't be too harsh on it. If you want to see another series that really had a lot of promise but just didn't take off, you want to watch my review of The Abandons right here. And as always, stop scrolling, start watching.